In terms of medical conditions, there are lots of medical reasons why people might wake up at night. So, one of the commonest reasons is actually a cough. And a cough can be caused by all manner of things, but the common culprits are uncontrolled asthma, or maybe silent reflux or silent heartburn. So what happens is when you're lying flat at night, you don't have gravity keeping the acid down in the stomach, and when you lie flat, it can come up the back of the throat and elicit a cough reflex. So uncontrolled asthma and heartburn are two things that can cause a cough. The other thing that might wake you up at night is actually heartburn. So maybe your reflux isn't so silent, and again, when you lie flat, that acid coming up can actually wake you up with a burning in the chest. So it'll be important to check your doctor to see if you have heartburn or underlying asthma, or perhaps another reason for your cough. So the second common reason for people waking up at night is actually feeling short of breath. Sometimes if people have something like heart failure, for example, when you lie flat, you're not able to breathe as easily. So if you find that you're short of breath on lying flat, that's one of the culprits. And again, you should see your doctor to see if that could be a possible cause. Another thing is actually snoring. And this may not wake you up, or at least you may not realize you're being woken up, but your partner will not be able to sleep. So if your partner isn't sleeping, maybe it's because you're snoring. And sometimes if you're snoring, the problem might be undiagnosed sleep apnea. So what is sleep apnea? Well, when we go to sleep, the muscles at the back of the throat relax, and sometimes if we're very, very overweight, or because of the shape of our particular anatomy, that might mean that the muscles get so floppy that they temporarily close off the airway. So when that happens, you stop breathing. And thankfully, our brain realizes, oh my God, they've stopped breathing. And the brain will wake you up up enough that you start to breathe again, but not so awake that you actually realize you've woken up. And what happens is your partner might describe that you're snoring, and then all of a sudden you stop breathing, and then there's a really kind of loud, snorty noise again, and then you start breathing again. That's kind of classic sleep apnea. So ask your partner if you're snoring. And another clue that this might be happening to you is that the next day you feel very, very sleepy, unusually sleepy, because you're actually waking up so many times a night, or even an hour, that you're not getting good sleep, even though you aren't realizing that you're waking up. So if you think that that might be a problem, again, have a chat with your doctor about that. Another common cause is actually pain. So if you're in pain for whatever reason, that can wake you up. And again, you need to see a doctor to see if maybe that's the problem. And in Trinidad, we have a very, very high rate of diabetes. And one of the symptoms of diabetes is actually waking up at night to pass a lot of urine. So if you find you're waking up more than, say, once or twice a night, you need to check with your doctor. It could be a number of things. It could be diabetes. It could be, if you're a man, that you have a prostate problem, in which case you'd probably find that you're waking up, you want to go, and you're standing there for ages and nothing's happening. The flow isn't coming, or when it does come, it's a bit of a trickle. So you can't quite hit the wall like you would have done before. Another common problem is medications. So if, for example, you do have heart failure, you might be on diuretics, or sometimes some people are on diuretics because they have hypertension, so high blood pressure. So diuretics make you pee. That's how they get rid of the extra water in heart failure and in kidney failure. And sometimes if you take those diuretics in the second half of the day, or even at bedtime, well, they're going to keep you up all night with you wanting to pass urine. So that can also be a common cause. So just check with your doctor as to whether any of your medications might be waking you up and causing the sleep disturbance. Last but not least, there is a condition called Restless Leg Syndrome, and it's basically an irresistible urge to move your legs when you're sitting still. So a lot of people will find that they're in a movie theatre, or on a plane, so in an enclosed seat, and they just get a really uncomfortable, almost indescribable feeling, not quite pain, but discomfort, and they really, really want to move their legs. Their legs are restless, and they get relief when they move their legs. And sometimes this can even happen when you're lying in bed at night, and it can be a nightmare because you're constantly, kicking your legs or kicking your partner and upsetting them. And it's important that if you think you have this, you get it checked out, because sometimes there are underlying reversible conditions that can lead to this. Sometimes we don't find a cause, but sometimes if we do and we correct the cause, then that can be really helpful also. So that list isn't exhaustive by any means. There are tons of other medical conditions that could be causing you to wake up at night, but those are just some common ones. And if you think of any more, please, let me know. Hope you enjoyed this series, and happy sleeping. Bye.